Welcome back to Civics in Columbus from City Hall to Capitol Hill. In our last episode, we laid the foundation for understanding how government works in the United States. We talked about why government exists: to create laws, provide services, protect rights, and represent the people. We also broke down the three levels of government that shape our daily lives: local government, state government, and of course federal government in Washington, D.C. We discussed how local government handles the issues closest to home, things like roads, policies, and fire protection, zoning, and community service. State government, on the other hand, operating in Atlanta for us here in Georgia, manages policies, things such as education standards for the state, transportation, statewide laws, and at the national level, the federal government in D.C. handles issues that impact the entire country, including national defense, hint, hint, immigration, and foreign policy. We also introduced an important principle in American democracy: checks and balances. At every level of government, local, state, or federal, power is divided between the legislative, executive, and judicial branches to ensure that no single person or branch becomes too powerful. Understanding these basic structures is the first step toward becoming an informed and engaged citizen. So today we're going to bring the conversation closer to home. Instead of looking broadly at government across the country, we're going to focus on how government is structured right here in Columbus, Georgia. Columbus has a unique system because our city and county government were consolidated into one unified government. In this episode, we'll explore how the consolidation happened, how Columbus City Charter established our current form of government, and how the mayor, city councilors, and city manager work together to govern our community. For those unaware, Columbus, Georgia isn't just a city. No. It's a consolidated government with county-wide powers. Now that may sound technical, but it actually affects almost every part of daily life in this community. In most places in the United States, cities and counties operate as separate governments. A city has its own mayor and council, and the county has its own commission with separate responsibilities, typically called county commissioners, then city councilors. But Columbus operates differently. Here in Columbus, the city and county government were merged into a single unified government that serves the entire county. That structure shapes how decisions are made, how services are delivered, and how local leaders govern the community. So for us to understand how Columbus government works, today we first need to understand how the consolidation happened. In the late 1960s, community leaders began discussing ways to improve efficiency and coordination between the city of Columbus and Muscogee County government. At the time, the two governments operated separately. That meant separate departments, separate budgets, and sometimes overlapping responsibilities. The Georgia General Assembly authorized the possibility of consolidation in 1969. This allowed the community to consider merging the two governments into one single system. But authorization from the state wasn't enough. Ultimately, the decision has to come from the people. Residents of Columbus and Muscogee County voted on whether to combine the two governments, and votes approved the consolidation. When consolidation took effect, the governmental powers and responsibilities that previously belonged to the city of Columbus and Muscogee County were merged into a single unified government. In other words, instead of having two separate governments operating side by side, Columbus became one consolidated government responsible for the entire county. As part of the process, most areas of Muscogee County outside of Bibb City and Fort Benning were incorporated into the city of Columbus. This meant that Columbus was no longer just a municipal government. It became a city-county government with authority across the county. This consolidation officially took effect in 1971, creating the structure that still governs Columbus today. So, once consolidation was approved, the community needed a governing structure to manage this new unified government. The Columbus City Charter, which is very important, I might have an episode dedicated just to the charter, established a mayor, council, city manager form of government. I say it again, mayor, council, city manager form of government. Let's break down what this means. First, the mayor. The mayor serves as the chief elected executive leader of the city. The mayor provides leadership, represents the community publicly, and works with the council to set policy and direction. Secondly, the city council functions as the legislative body. Council members represent districts across the community and are responsible for passing ordinances, approving budgets, and setting local policies. They hold a lot of the power that people think the mayor has, but we'll talk about that later. Thirdly, the city manager. The city manager oversees the day-to-day operations of the government. The city manager is a professional administrator who manages city departments, supervises staff, and ensures that policies approved by the council are actually carried out. You can think of it this way. The council makes the laws and policies. I repeat, the council makes the laws and policies. The mayor provides leadership and vision, the face of the city. And the city manager runs the day-to-day operations of the government. Our city manager is the one who really makes sure those laws and policies are getting carried out. This system is designed to combine political leadership from elected officials with professional management of government services. So we got to have boundaries and services. This is where the districts come in at. Because Columbus operates as a consolidated government, its jurisdiction covers the entire area of Muscogee County. That means that the Columbus government provides services across the whole county, from downtown neighborhoods to suburban communities out in Midland. However, not every area receives exactly the same services. Once again, that may be a whole nother video episode. The city charter allows the council to divide parts of the county into what are called service districts. Service districts allow the government to provide different levels of services in different areas and adjust taxes accordingly. For example, some areas may receive additional municipal services such as enhanced infrastructure, expanded utilities, or specialized programs. Because those services cost money to provide, residents in those specific districts must pay slightly different tax rates. This system allows the government to tailor services to the needs of different parts of the community while still operating under a single unified government. Understanding service districts helps explain why tax rates or service levels may differ between neighborhoods within the same county. Why the charter matters. All of these rules, the consolidation, the structure of government, the roles of elected officials, are defined in one key document. It's in the charter, our city charter. You can think of the charter as the local constitution specifically for Columbus. It outlines how many council members there are, how elections are conducted or not conducted in recent history, how taxes can be levied, how authority is divided within the government. It also establishes the powers and responsibilities of the mayor, the council, and the city manager. For citizens, especially in Columbus, understanding the charter is important because it explains how local government is supposed to function. When we as residents understand the rules that guide our government, we are better equipped to hold leaders accountable and participate meaningfully in civic life. My father always used to tell me growing up, in order to play the game, you got to know the rules. If you understand the rules of the game, then you can play it. Too often, we may complain about things or post about different things, and we're not truly playing by the rules our charter gives us. Now, you don't have to read the charter cover to cover, but becoming familiar with its key sections can help citizens better understand how decisions are truly being made in the community. So in closing, in today's episode, we looked at how Columbus and Muscogee County consolidated into a single unified government and how that system operates today. We discussed the mayor, council, and city manager, forms of government, how service districts work, and why the city charter serves as the foundation of our local government. In the next episode, we're going to take a closer look at one of the most important parts of that system, the legislative branch of local government, our Columbus City Council. In episode 3, we look to explore how council members are elected, how ordinances are passed, how citizens can participate in council meetings and public decision making. Because when citizens, like you and me, understand how their local government works, we are better equipped to participate, ask meaningful questions, and help shape the future of our community. As always, peace. This has been another episode of Civics in Columbus, from City Hall to Capitol Hill with Demetrius McBride.